I want to talk about parenting children and family dynamics. And I believe and I see that, my children have come into this world very much their own beings. And we have 2 biological children and 1 adopted from Ethiopia. And he is a very spirited, amazing person who I know chose to come to us. And I guess my question goes to a number of layered things. Number 1, there's how I parent, and there's how my husband parents. And
number 1, there's how you feel. Number 1,
yes.
There's how you feel. Number 1, there's how you feel. Number 1, there's how you feel.
Absolutely.
Number 1, there's how you feel about how you parent. Number 1, there's how you feel about how your husband parents. But
yes.
There's only how you feel.
And this goes to the gentleman talking about having this business with his wife. And my question is a little bit of a layer on that and a little bit in the dynamics of my children together and see, this sounds like I want to control who they are, which of course I want them to grow up to believe they can do anything. I want them to grow up with much love. And there's a lot of story. There's a lot of, she did this, he said this, why did, and I find myself, it grates on me after a while. I try to stay, centered myself, and I try to say I don't want to hear the story.
Children are parroting back or mirroring back what they are learning in the environment that is around them. So as you are trying to sort out how to feel good under those conditions, and in a sense explaining to us why it's hard to hold your balance under those conditions, that's exactly what they're explaining. It's hard for me to hold my balance under these conditions because he did that and she did that and she did that and she did that and he did that and she did that and he did that. In other words, it's the same sort of thing. So somebody has to stop the chain of pain.
I knew you were going to say this.
Well, you will find such freedom in being unconditional, because when someone, and squabbles happen like that, Esther said, no squabbling, no wobbling. In other words, because the squabbling makes her wobble. Squabbling makes her wobble. Yep. She just sees no reason to squabble. Squabbling makes me wobble, so no squabbling, no wobbling. And we say that's conditional, Esther. Don't make your wobble-freeness be about absence of squabbling. Otherwise, you can't be in the world. You can't go anywhere. It's all conditional. So what Esther really wants to say is, go ahead and squabble. I just choose not to wobble. Which means I'm not going to make the way I feel conditional on what you do. But she's got to practice it where they're not squabbling, because if you don't even give your attention to it until the wobble-squabble is already in place, then you're not likely to find your footing. So it really is about getting yourself in that stable place and getting yourself in that stable place, getting into unconditional love alignment, and then. Mm-hmm. Because what's happening to you, you don't want this to be true, and Esther doesn't want it to be true of herself either. But what happens to you is that you really believe, this is a flawed belief and it doesn't serve you, you really believe that their squabbling is eroding your stability and that they need to stop it. Mm-hmm. And they believe the same about whatever it is they're complaining to you about. And that is just untrue, because if it is true, then none of you have any chance of ever being stable, because there is always going to be something out there that is a condition that you can't stand. And when you start trying to fix conditions so that you can feel better, all that happens is law of attraction just brings you more conditions to fix, until pretty soon you're not just dealing with your own relationship between source, which is all you've got to do. Now you're dealing with your relationship with your children, the 3 of them. And then now you're trying to deal with the relationships between them and them. And now you're trying to deal with the relationship between your husband and each of them, and your husband and you about them. And there just become so many moving parts that you lose your way. But once you really get it, that all you have to focus on, and the only thing that you can control, is the vibrational stance from which you are approaching that, but you got to get a head start on it. If you will take the time to sync up with source, and sync up with source, and sync up with source, and sync up with source, their squabbles won't make you wobble. Mm-hmm. Their squabbles don't cause source to wobble.
I think it stems from a place of wanting them to be kind to each other, of course, and loving to each other, but then you're right, it does stem from, so the whole other complicated layer is...
But think about what you're teaching,
yes.
Even in that. You're teaching a conditional
Absolutely.
experience for them. You need to be kind to someone because that someone might be dependent upon how you feel for how they feel. So always be kind so that they feel well. So think about, in terms of this unconditional conversation that we're having, some of your most well-intentioned habits are actually perpetuating the very conditional love. I teach my children to be kind to everyone. And we say, well, then the children that your children are around don't ever have to find their own stability because they can just count on the kindness of your children. And isn't that what's going wrong with so many people? They're running around and they're saying, well, at my house they're kind to me and you're not kind to me, so you need to be kind. Teacher, this person is not being kind to me, and so they need to be kind to me. And so now the teacher's involved in it or somebody else is involved.
Absolutely.
Just so many moving parts. What you want to teach your children is how to feel good. You don't want to teach them, oh, here it is. You don't want to teach them how to control how other people feel. That's a losing battle. They'll never win that one, and neither will you. You want to teach them how to control how they feel. And it is our promise to you.
How do you do that?
By caring how you feel.
Yeah.
By giving them your attention when you feel good. And by withdrawing your attention. By treating them exactly the way their inner being treats them. And how does their inner being treat them? Their inner being shines a light of well-being all the time, no matter what, and does not deviate from that love regardless of whether they're being kind or not. Their inner being does not hold them hostage when they're being unkind. Their inner being loves them unconditionally, and so does yours. So when you treat them like their inner being does, where when they sync up with alignment, undivided attention, but when they're out of sorts, your inner being doesn't say, hovering around fear and despair again, let's go down there where they are. Because the very fact that you can feel fear and despair or overwhelmment or whatever the emotion is, the very fact that you can feel it means that there's an existence of source that's doing something other than that. You see what we're getting at?
I do.
So let's talk in very practical terms. Give us an example and we'll show you what we would do, and then we will explain to you the vibrational accuracy behind it.
So an example, my 5-year-old son, he goes down the stairs. He can see in his sister's bedroom window now, and he wants to talk with her through it, and she says, go away. And he is very quick to respond to things. I hate you. This is the worst day in the whole world. And he gets on. I mean, he's very dramatic. And this is another thing that's a bit hard for me because he'll wake up. This is the worst day ever. I hate life. And I want to go, you little ungrateful, you know. But that's how I feel sometimes.
So let's say that he wants to play with his sister. And so he offers her an invitation. And she rebuffs him. So it may or may not be that she's in alignment. She might be involved in something else. But let's say she's not in alignment, and so she doesn't want to play. And he then is out of alignment. So those are conditions that we want you to accept that you cannot control. We want you to accept that as conditions that you must not control. Stay with us for a minute. So this is the worst day of my life, he is saying. And then you don't say this is the worst day of my life. You say, you ungrateful little...
Well, I don't say that.
We know
but
that
he
you
feels
don't.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
the universe doesn't hear what you say. The
Yeah.
universe hears what you mean.
Yeah.
Because you're communicating vibrationally, not with words. So since we don't want you to try to do the impossible, which is control their relationship with each other, their behavior. The only thing that we're asking you to do is to control your own. So we're asking you to be mindful of your response. But we're asking you to do it in a way that will work for you by saying, be mindful of your alignment before you are mindful of your response. If you haven't taken the time to consistently make sure that you're in vibrational alignment, then you're not prepared to go out into the world because you're too easily influenced by vibrational patterns that suck you away from the alignment of your source. Now stay with us. Why would that even be possible? Because that vibration is active within you. Otherwise, that would not even be possible. Now, you might say, my kids have trained me into that. I wasn't that way before they were that way. And we say, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter why you're that way. But the fact of it is, if you can't hold your alignment with Source, that means you've been practicing another thing that's active in your vibration. And so they're calling you there rather than Source calling you here. Because once you're practicing this, once you've practiced that unconditional love, you've got it. But most of you have not been practicing unconditional love. You've been practicing conditional love. When the kids are good, you feel so good. When they behave with each other, you feel so good. And oh, when they're nice to each other, your heart just swells. You're so happy and so proud. But that's conditional love, you see. Mm-hmm. They came to help you remember unconditional love. They didn't come to jump through hoops. They didn't say, okay, let's go forth and make Mommy's world perfect while we're around. Let's just train her into more and more conditional love. And then when we grow up and leave, she won't be able to stand it because her love's been conditional upon our being around. Mm-hmm. They're ready to go off to school. And you say, no, don't go. Don't go. My very happiness depends upon the nice way you've been treating each other. Mm-hmm. It's much better to say, go, go. You hear what we're saying, and we know it's easy to hear it and impossible to apply it if you apply it from any perspective other than finding your alignment first. Mm-hmm. So what do we say? You must be unconditional. You can't control the way they're behaving. You got to feel good anyway. But you can't just jump into a situation that you've already got active vibration in and feel better. So unconditional love. Oh, let's give you a new definition. You're going to like this. It's going to make all of this more meaningful to you. Unconditional love means having discovered and practiced, having accomplished, achieved alignment regardless of condition. I don't need conditions to line up in order to feel good. I've practiced it again and again and again. I'm just there. Doesn't matter what you're doing. I practice thinking about you. Do I love them or hate them? Love them or hate them? Well, of course, I love them. Do I want to feel good or bad about them? Well, of course I want to feel good. Are they lovely or not? Of course they're lovely. Are they well-meaning or not? Of course they're well-meaning. Were they born with guidance? Of course they're born with guidance. Do they need me to be their guidance? Of course they don't need me to be their guidance. Do they have an inner being? Of course they have an inner being. Is their inner being loving them all the time? Of course their inner being is loving them all the time. Do I teach through my words? Do I teach through example? I teach through example. In other words, just keep talking yourself back into alignment and back into alignment. And you know already. Your children reflect the way you feel. Mm-hmm. You wake up, when you're troubled about something, they misbehave. Because in the same way that you're taking your cues from them often, they're taking their cues from you often. Absolutely. And then you're all holding one another hostage. I don't feel good because of something you're doing. It's the biggest trap in the world, and it is a reason for child-parent resentment. In other words, it goes on for generations and generations. You can be well past the time that you're spending very much time with your children or with your parents and still resenting them because you've practiced that vibration, because they couldn't find a way to adjust the condition of their beingness enough to hold you steadily in alignment with Source, which is what you thought was their job. You ungrateful child. Seriously, it's your job to appreciate all the sacrifice I do for you. I'd much rather be at the nail salon than cooking your meals. I would much rather be out lying in the sun than tending to you. The majority of my life I spend just trying to make your world perfect. And now, just because it's not all perfect, you have the nerve to be disconnected. What you want to say to them is, argue away, little ones. It's the way you find your balance. Feel what it feels like to be mean. Feel like what it feels like to be hateful, and then feel like what it feels like to be loving. And you just consistently show that loving, 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 and you have 100% of your conversations about their behavior from your place of alignment, so that you're complementing their alignment, you're emphasizing their alignment, you're activating their alignment. You're not trying to stop the momentum of misalignment, because that only adds to it every single time, no exceptions ever.